Boo! I feel like that's how all of these shows should start off. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wine Antics Live. Thank you so much for your patience. We had some things going on behind the scenes, but we are live now. Yay! Thank you for being here. Happy Thirsty Thursday. This is a very special, as you can tell, Wine Antics Live. I am dressed up as something red and black. We're gonna go with that. Something spooky, something red and black. I even decorated my background. Very, very exciting. I went so far as for this holiday to not only have 2 weeks of conversation with my special guest host behind the scenes, going back and forth with food and beverage pairings, but I also created a blog. Yes, everybody catch your breath because I actually wrote some stuff down because I love this holiday. So that's the very first thing that I wanted to mention as you guys are coming in. Thank you for joining in. I'm proud of myself. I'm putting it out there and I'm going to share the link because as we go along today, I'm going to mention some of my recommendations, but you may not catch them as we're going. I've got it all written down for you. I've got it ready. Yeah, like I'm here for you guys. So there's all of my recommendations for you. As you're joining in, please take a second. If you're enjoying the conversation as it goes along, share this out and share the Halloween spirit with someone else. I'm going to actually do the same darn thing right now, very quickly. This is the magic of live. I tell you everything I'm doing while I'm doing it, and then I take a drink out of my very festive skull, my dollar store skull, and I can't wait until my special guest host comes on because I can hear her giggling in the background, but you guys cannot. She's screaming for her husband. It's hilarious. So I'm gonna take a little sip right now. And the wines that I'm drinking tonight, plus the wines that are in my blog post, are actually available for sale. Look at this. This has been one of my biggest things with being a live streamer, is the frustration of wanting to share about wine, wanting to enjoy the social aspect of wine and you know, drinking together, and feeling very frustrated about not being able to make that together happen, period. So I've been working with Wine Still Sold Out to finally get you the wines that I recommend, the wines that I drink. Yay! Including the one that I'm drinking tonight. And if you have a chance and you need some Halloween wine, you can order today, 2-day free shipping. Like, there's nothing on my list that's over $20, and it's free shipping, and it's free 2-day shipping. So I'm going to drop the link to that as well as we're going along. I know that I'm not the only one that hasn't bought a darn bottle of wine for Halloween yet, and I'm supposed to be going to events this weekend, so you see me maybe making a few purchases myself. This is always about me. Sorry. It's really always about me. All right. So thank you again, everybody that's popping in. Let's see who's here. If I can see. Yes, Justin, it is free shipping. Thank you for coming by. It is actually free 2-day shipping, especially you guys out in California. You spoiled folk. You spoiled folk. All right. I am going to announce my very special guest. I met her, 2.5 years ago, out in Lodi, California, at the Wine Bloggers Conference. She is, I think, a mermaid in hiding. Under all of the tattoos and the fabulous hair she has, I know she's smuggling a mermaid in there somewhere. She's an amazing person that through the last 2 weeks we found out that we were meant to be together as Halloween soul sisters. I'm going to bring on Demetra Molina now. Here we go. Yay! Hi, perfect. She's got the glass up. She's ready. Did he get this? Oh, he did get the skull glass in time.
Mm-hmm. Mine's full of spiders.
Oh,
and centipedes, really? But yeah.
Oh, well, you can just pour the wine on top of it. It'll be all right.
Absolutely. I'll probably choke to death on live TV. We're not going to do that.
I'm trying to get ratings, all right?
She went viral.
Oh my gosh, because
Oh, well.
somebody choked and she did nothing about it. Horrible human being. Okay.
Standard.
All right, Demetra. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are, what's your story being in this wine and into tattoos a little bit.
This happened accidentally, 100%. I was in all kinds of management and entertainment at Disney. And then I moved to upstate New York where there was no tourism specifically like Disney, but there were a ton of wineries in upstate New York in the Finger Lakes. So my first wine job was pouring behind the bar and knowing very little about anything. And from that just came a love. And I started doing more and I started picking and I started traveling with my husband. The more conventions he did with his tattoo work, the more I got to see the world. So the more wine I got to drink, and it just kind of escalated from there. And here we are. So it's been a lot of fun.
Isn't that the way that it always goes? It's like something happens and then something else happens and then you're just drinking wine. And it's
yes,
amazing.
100%. And especially with a group of artists, it happens pretty confidently and pretty, constantly. So it was good to know something about it whenever I'm tapped for it.
Absolutely. And we've got, I would say this kind of goes along with the tattoo, little bit of an edgy dark side today.
This is my fave.
What's that?
For sure. Halloween is my favorite.
Oh, I know. So I've got, I did all this, you did all that, because you're outside and people would never even know.
I know. Well, it's so nice here and we've got that perfect 67-degree weather and everything. And I usually sit outside and have a glass of wine during the sunset. So I figured I might as well do it with you guys.
Yeah, I would too if I were in California.
Well, this is a pretty new change.
I know.
So I'm enjoying as much of it as I can.
It is and I recently went to the Finger Lakes. I had Aaron Bailey from Wagner Vineyards on 2 weeks ago. I see why you really fell in love with wine out there and how
absolutely.
The industry is so different out there than what I can't say it's vastly different than California. Everybody thinks of it as a family, but there's something very different with being in the wine industry on the East Coast. It's a little bit more of a struggle. There's a little bit more of a bond. It was great to be in the Finger Lakes.
Good. And I had to actually meet Aaron in Lodi. We worked very close to each other. We essentially shared a driveway for a while almost. And I had to go there to meet her. And yeah, it is more like a family. It's very close-knit. It's hard. And I think that struggle brings everybody together a little bit. And what's coming out of there is just incredible.
Absolutely.
So there's a pride behind it too.
I loved it. I had a great time and I can't wait to go back. But
hey, good.
For the purpose of the show and what we're doing tonight, let's talk about some Halloween food and beverage pairings. And it's not just wine, though. I am talking a lot about wine, but I have a couple cocktails in my blog, and you have something else tasty to share. Why don't you kick it off with your first pick?
Okay. Well, I love a lot of the Paso Robles wines for sure. And I did some of the Chronic Cellars selections from these guys. One of them is been drinking right now, and you can kind of see it. Oh, thank you for putting that up too. So it's mostly Zin. This is the 2016. It's 79% Zin, 11% Petit Syrah, 4% Grenache, 6% Syrah. So a little bit of a blend, but real fruit heavy. Paso's got this beautiful dry heat for Zins. So they come out really nice and heavy, high alcohol, nice full body reds for sure. So I really enjoy those guys.
Who doesn't love a high alcohol, chronic kind of?
And I didn't open it so I could still be functional with you all tonight. But they also have this adorable sparkling. I don't know whether you can see the label. It's pretty cool.
It is. It's like an octopus skeleton.
It's like a little octopus guy. Yes. So it's a little bit of a sweeter Grand Cuvée than I would usually go with. It's called Spritz and Giggles, which is just kind of cute.
Spritz and Giggles.
But super drinkable and I like to throw a little bit of fruit into it because it's almost sangria-esque. It's a little bit sweeter. So go right for the sugar, a little fruit. We're in this amazing area where we grow all this incredible produce. So it happens.
Since you mentioned a bubble is also really fun to throw into something sangria-esque. I love to add some bubble. I love to add bubbles to nearly anything. Let's not lie.
Same.
Let's not lie. Vodka, juice, just a glass. Put some bubbles in there.
You're screaming my language.
I'm trying. In fact, I kind of like it so much that bubbles is my first pairing that I do. Ooh, look at that.
Okay.
Do you like how really super corny I got for this?
No, I love it. I love it. As I'm talking to my little pet bird right here, and you're talking about corny. Nevermore. Let's go.
And you have a kind of a thin little friend there as well. He looks like he needs some meat on his bones. No, the puppy.
Oh, my puppy! Isn't he cute? Okay, so we gotta move. This is my little skeleton Frenchie. Husband bought him for my little debut.
It's beautiful.
I think he's amazing. Thank you.
I do too. I absolutely love him.
The fun thing about this will not go away after this.
No.
This will go with all the rest of our wedding stuff. It has a lot of Dia de los Muertos and all kinds of artistic stuff all over our little house, which will be fun.
Speaking of which, this is just my evolution because we're actually doing a show for the Day of the Dead as well. This is just the start of my costume.
I love it.
I'm working it along.
Girl, give her.
As tangerific as we're getting here, this is one of my picks, and this is available for sale with my link. If you scroll up in the comments, it is there. It is $10.99, and look, if I can get a prosecco right at the $10 mark, I'm a happy girl, and this one is perfect. Look, if I want to drink something straight, I can usually find a very nice prosecco within this. I will even say 7 to 12 range. That's what I recommend, the 7 to 12 range. And you can drink it, but of course it's a little bit better, a little bit of orange juice or some Grand Marnier or in a cocktail, of course. But Prosecco never goes bad. Sparkling wine, well, I mean, it literally could go bad. But in my house, it doesn't last that long. So if you buy it today or you buy it in a week, you're going to drink it. And I love that versatility.
Never seen it go bad here.
No, it doesn't go bad here. What's the price point on the chronic sparkling?
It goes between $17.99 to $14.99. So this one was actually, I got a twofer. Because it's the Halloween kind of special. So they were all set up. So I believe the sparkling was $14.99 and the purple paradise was $14.99 as well. So it was a twofer. It all got kind of put together, which was nice.
Yeah, I have a picture of that later on. What happens when you impulse wine shop?
Oh, it happens all the time. Store. Are you kidding me?
I'm going through some comments. Donna, my friend Donna says, "Is that you, Jen?" Yes, this is me. this is what I look like with super dark hair. It's scary. And then Justin Cowrie says, "We look like sisters." I will take that compliment. Because Demetra is beautiful.
Aw. Bless. I just had a bat fly over my head.
Did you literally have a bat fly over your head?
I'm so excited I could cry. It's a blessing. It's Halloween blessing.
I was going to say, that's a Halloween good luck omen. Forget the butterflies. You want bats today.
I really do.
All right. Before I get too far down in my drink edge, let's move on. What is your next pairing? Maybe something that goes away from wine.
Well, I have a beer. It's from Mission Brewery. It's called Shipwrecked and it's a double IPA. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had it a few times and it has knocked me on my hiney more than once. There you go. It's got a cute little skull on it, so that's part of it.
So you have 2 beers that you thought about for this show.
I did.
Ooh, look at that.
I did. I'm a good girl. Barrel House is the harder one to get a hold of.
Oh.
The Mission Brewery is a little bit easier. So Mission was the one I was leading with. The Barrel House Brewing one is really tough to get your hands on if you're in the Paso area. As soon as they release it, there's usually a run. And I sent a friend. So that one would be great for pairing just because it's all done in rum barrels.
Ooh.
So it's got this really smoky kind of toasted caramel, which would really highlight just about anything that you're having for Halloween. So that one was a fun one.
Maybe like some hot dogs, the mummies and the hot dogs.
Look, I've done everything from really, really fancy Halloween parties with the fondue and all kinds of crazy settings, all the way to like what you're talking about, the jalapeno poppers and the you're wishing you died at 3 a.m. kind of food. But yeah, that'll go with just about anything. That's the nice thing about beer and a little bit of sparkle. The bubbles help wash everything down.
Everything down.
That grease and whatever's bacony.
Isn't that so
true? There's going to be bacon.
Isn't that so true? Like we have a before 10 p.m. menu and then we have an after 10 p.m. menu.
Like, every party.
Like, you know, those mummy dogs don't look good until about 11 o'clock at night, and that wine is kicking in, or that beer is kicking in, and then it looks like the best thing on the table.
We're all creatures of habit. Let's be honest. Halloween is a time where we can share our food shame. It's fine.
I'm not ashamed at all.
Me neither. I'm a giver.
You know what? I don't love to eat hot dogs or processed food like that, but damn, sometimes it provides an awesome coating, okay? All right, sometimes I really appreciate the minimal hangover the next day, like French fries.
There was a reason we did that when we were younger.
Or bread. I mean, I've been known to do some horrible things to bread loaves towards the end of parties. Like hide in a corner and just gnaw.
I made some bad decisions.
I have made some bad decisions. I will tell you what is not a bad decision. My next pairing.
Let's see where you're headed.
So it's actually what I'm drinking tonight is the Goten del Risc, which is from Spain. And I would call it a medium body red. It's younger. It's a 2015. I really enjoy this in terms of like the middle. Like it was my second pairing, so not super light like the Prosecco or heavy like the last red wine I picked. But this is the middle of the road, super easy drinking, will keep you warm whether the party's indoor or outdoor. It's going to go really easily with my food pairing to this, which was guacamole dip. Like, how often have you been to almost any party and had a good guacamole dip? And, you know, while some people may pick a white, I love, and I said this in my blog, to put pomegranate seeds in my guacamole dip. And it sounds so strange, but it is so perfect for this wine because it's got a little bit of oomph to it at 13% alcohol. It's got a lot of warmth that lingers on, and it's got some like really dark fruit flavors to it. And the pomegranate seeds are just like, they just want to pop and give you that rush of sweetness to pair with this very smooth red wine. Yeah, you should have seen, like, I was thinking about this in the store. I'm like, I don't know how true food bloggers write out this stuff, because I went to the grocery store today and I bought all of the ingredients to make that guacamole.
It's so good.
Oh,
it sounds so good. And the pomegranate seeds I wouldn't have thought of. And I'm interested because the sangria I was talking about was pomegranate seeds. So that would be very interesting to me.
That's true. And
yeah,
that recipe that Demetra's talking about for sangria, her recipe,
we'll get there.
I'm going to also put it in the post. So after this video is done, I put it up on my website, and
you're so together.
I know. I'm faking it like the best, sweetie.
Hey, girl, you're doing it.
I'm faking it like the best.
Give her.
All right, I know you have at least like what one more wine pairing
At
up your
least,
sleeve.
at least. Did
At
you have any
least.
more pictures or no?
No, this was I.
No.
So I
Okay.
shared two out of the three. You guys have
Yeah,
to go to the blog to see the third one, the big bold red I paired. Mm.
for sure. So I had some Paso line that I got from Niner, actually. That was a petite Syrah that has absolutely nothing to do with Halloween, except for it was dark and gorgeous, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I have no idea how difficult it is to find. You might be able to find it online on their website, but it is incredible, and it is incredible for pairing with anything fall foods, your roasted vegetables and your curl up in front of the fireplace kind of foods. And we're not quite there yet, but I know in upstate New York you are. I'm a little bit jealous of that. So I'm kind of vicariously living through that here by doing the extra sit outside and get a little chilly before I go in and do the reds. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed you
it's
guys will
been
love that
40s.
one
It's been
too.
in the 40s a couple mornings
Oh,
here. And people are like, oh, the 40s. Oh my God, that's so cold. No, it's just the right amount of cold. You want to know what's cold? Like, like the teens are cold.
see, and that's it. We have these beautiful Syrahs and petite Syrahs because it's almost like a high desert climate here. But when it's 100 and friggin' 10 degrees, you don't want to drink it either. So it's a hard sell until you get to bonfire area where you can actually pair things. They do so much barbecue here because Santa Maria
Oh,
apparently
yes.
is one of the like real founders of Santa Maria barbecue, and it's that open pit kind of cattle rancher kind of barbecue.
Mm.
It's insanely good. And you need something just big and heavy and rich to be able to mess with that at all. So we're in the right place for
Should have
sure for
eaten
that kind of stuff.
before this
Yeah, I
show.
did the same thing. We're supposed to do strip steaks later, so the rest of this will probably go pretty nicely.
It will. But
Yeah,
you sent me. You don't even remember the fun that we've had over the last 2 weeks. What?
I've sent you so many pictures and so many things, this offensive amount of things. You're probably like, what is she talking about?
How about
We've been
these?
doing this for weeks.
How about
Rabble
the
the
Rabble ones?
Castle. If you ever come to Paso, this winery has several different lines, but it looks like a castle. It's off the side of the road, and it was a winery that was supposed to be big corporate. They kind of let it go, and a bunch of small vintners got together and got the place. And it is insane. It has a moat. It has 3 or 4 different lines of wine, and this is the Rabble line. And they just look very tarot-y and
They
kind of
do.
cartoony and cool, super funky. They actually have it at Trader Joe's,
Huh.
so you
And
can
another
find it.
octopus.
Yep, you can find it at Trader Joe's. You can find it at Whole Foods. I found it a couple of places at Albertsons grocery stores. So definitely locally for sure. But I'm kind of obsessed.
Do you have a theme of Paso wines? It's like you live nearby or you kind of
It's
like
kind of
them.
like them close. I mean, it's my new obsession because it's my new discovery. It's my new local. I go back and forth between here and the Finger Lakes. So it's kind of my Finger Lakes to Paso or Finger Lakes to Slow is my hashtag. And I just kind of go back and forth with the wines that I find along the way.
That only leads me to ask, which is better? Ooh. Look, I'm gonna
Oh,
start a fight.
that's,
I'm gonna start a
you're
fight.
going to start a fight. Good girl. It's like apples and oranges. Out here, it's so much red and it's so much of a different climate. But the Finger Lakes is so different. It's cool climate viticulture. Here you've got 50 different microclimates within 10 miles, and you'll drive through all of them on the way from Morro Bay to Paso. It's like I've gone from 110 degrees in Paso Robles, driven home, and it's been in the 60s in Morro Bay. So that's a decent drop. And that's a decent difference in grape growing and viticulture. And you don't get that kind of spread in the Finger Lakes, but it's so different. And there's just so much difference of love and how hard it is and how much familial involvement has been throughout the generations. And it's just crazy how different it is, but how similar too. You find the garagiste on both sides, and those are the guys I kind of tend to go towards.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And you did not pick the fight that I was hoping. Damn it, I can't go down on air into you.
Are you gonna do the sweet Riesling thing? Because goddamn it.
What do you mean?
Know?
No. There's nothing sweet on my menu.
Isn't Riesling just sweet? No. Oh, that was the fight I thought you were going for.
People do still ask me that because I poured for a Halloween event just recently, like 2 days ago. And people still come up to me and they look at the two wines that I'll have, because I usually have a red and I usually have a white. And they're like, which is dry? And it almost shocks me to say that, oh, well, everything is dry. There's no sweet. Like, you have to specifically ask for a sweet.
It is almost a mantra here.
Yeah.
Riesling and sweet comes tumbling out of their mouth. They have, it's just a very different divide. But until New York can reach different markets and really showcase what they're doing, a lot of it stays where it is, and people don't get to see it. So it takes ambassadors. That's all right now.
And we have a couple people joining us live before we get over to the surprise that you have, the speed food and wine, or speed food and beverage pairing, because it doesn't have to be a wine. Kern says, Chris Kern says, guacamole is not a dip, it's a mole, hence guacamole. And never put pomegranate seeds in guacamole. That's desecration. You know what? Don't eat my guacamole. I don't care. It's not a desecration. I love the pomegranate seeds.
I'm gonna try it.
Yes, I have a recipe. I have a recipe for you. And Christine says that I look good in the wig. You should get a. You should, I know you have a wig. Don't lie. Even though you downsized to a tiny house, I know you've got a wig.
I don't think I do.
Oh my gosh.
I just fuck my own hair up all the time. It's the first one.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a sip for it. Come on.
Yep. Okay. Here we go.
Cheers.
Hey,
first drinking game.
There are enough people playing along. Trust me. Jesus.
And I did promise to show your picture. This is Demetra's kind of, what is it? Not a it's a backdrop. It's a foreground now, and she staged all of her beautiful Halloween things and festive things. Even got some purple spider webs there.
Dude.
But I feel like that was a total Halloween impulse buy for you.
Not all of it. Not all of it. I usually have a decent amount of chronic around. And being in the wine industry definitely keeps me in the wine industry and seeing who's around and tasting different things and checking different things out. And when I leave, I miss it. So I like being able to taste all these different things and go and check different places out for sure. And this is one of my faves.
All right. I love the picture. Well, I had to put it up there because you did such a great job.
Bird was the impulse buy for sure.
Does his eyes light up actually?
Yes. His eyes light up.
I I didn't know if it was like a movie kind of terror moment happening that I'm the only one that can see the bird's eyes light up.
When did you start drinking, Jen?
I know, like
obviously later.
I swear.
Obviously way too late.
Yeah, way too late. All right. So for the next segment, we are going to play a little game. Demetra does not know exactly what kind of items we're going to show, but it's kind of like a flash beverage and food pairing. I'm going to show some images of really odd Halloween party foods. And no, the watermelon fetus didn't make it.
Damn.
No,
damn.
That was hilarious though. I was
because I wanted it. I changed it, and I decided the whole thing should just be one big Jello shot.
It should be just so you could just go in there with a spoon, and that's okay. You see, there's so many horribly wrong places to go with that. But let's get that lined lined up. But there are some very weird things out there, and because I've had so long to prepare for this, like 2 whole weeks to prepare for this show, like it's such a luxury.
That should
I
never
I got
happen.
to spend a little time looking at what's out there. So here is the first party food flash pairing. Boom.
Okay. What the hell is that?
Doesn't it look like a cockroach cocoon?
Uh,
It is actually it is actually a date stuffed with cheese. But like the look, the color, the texture like just perfectly matches with what a cockroach would come out of. So that's your first pairing. What would you pair
oh
a
god.
cockroach cocoon with?
Oh hell with it. Let's go with a buttery shard.
Ooh. I wonder what the cheese is. Like if it were a goat, like if it were a goat cheese, I would say yes. If it were like a
That's
blue
what I'm
cheese,
looking at.
I would say no. I see some like bluish texture to it, so it almost makes me want to go with like a Pinot Gris.
Okay, see, I'm seeing it looks a little bit, and this goes back to the Greek girl thing. You said dates, so I went honey and like more of a Greek kind of like a goat cheese kind of situation. But yeah, if it's blue cheese, I would like to change my answer.
But I mean, this is great. I love foods that make you think it's one thing and like just hesitate before you try to even pick it up.
No, that's for sure. And Halloween things do that.
You do. They really do.
Even with the really rich good foods, the presentation can be so questionable.
All right, so here comes the next one. Are you ready?
Yeah, give her. Let's do
sure?
this. Yes. Ah! Oh my god, was it intestines?
Well,
Rice crispy intestines.
it's made to look like intestines, yes.
But are they? What is the actual base?
No, this one is really good actually. So it's kind of like a stromboli. So it's got cheese and chorizo, and then it's got just a dough around it, and then of course some kind of red mix, maybe ketchup or dyed something or another to add the coloring to it. But it looks very real to me. It creeps me out.
That is absolutely disgusting, but I'd say a nice table red, some kind of pizza wine, something a little younger, a little fruitier, maybe even like a Beaujolais Nouveau.
Ooh, look at you getting fancy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? If you want to talk about Finger Lakes wines, because I've talked about Paso so much, there's a lot of unoaked Cabernet Franc coming out. That would be banging.
Really?
If you could stomach it with the whole visual.
Right. Do you know, because I'm going to assume the chorizo's a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
I may actually go like my steady cocktail that I love, which is cranberry vodka.
Okay.
And get that lime in there. So cut the spiciness and the meatiness and the gaminess with the lime and the cranberry with that tartness. Plus, I just like cranberry vodka. Like I feel like
same.
I feel like I would need a stiff drink with that one. I'm just saying. That would creep me out.
For sure.
Right. I'm gonna go a little safer for the next one for you, because you know we've gotten a little crazy. But don't hold your breath.
These are good though.
I know, right? And I have no rights to any of these photos. So
little bullshit mummy that look like a little jalapeno popper. That is like not even on this level.
No. So the next one is one of the fun ones, and this one actually could be appropriate for kids. I showed you this one. This one was on Trisha Yearwood's show 2 weeks ago. I loved it so much, though. It was
such a good idea.
It was so it's basically like a calzone, but they dyed the mozzarella in there green. So when you cut into the tentacles, this is the third reference of an octopus, by the way, we've made tonight. It oozes green cheese, which just adds another layer of like, I don't think I should be eating this.
That would definitely appeal to kids or tattoo artists.
Same.
Oozing tentacles? Are you kidding me? That is right up their jam. Oh my god, so much.
So this is kind of this is very much a pizza thing. So it's basically got some pepperoni, it's got mozzarella, it's got marinara sauce in it, and then it's just a stain washed dough. So I can't remember, maybe she used beet juice or food coloring to give the tentacles that color. And there's little pepperoni suckers on the top. So what would be your pairing, not from Finger Lakes or Paso, for this?
Let's go beer.
Let's
go beer. Yeah, this is a calzone. You said pizza and beer, for sure.
Yeah, damn, you made that easier. I thought it was a challenge. Damn it. I shouldn't have picked the most generic thing out there to get for a challenge. All right, I'll give you a challenge with the next one, though.
Let's do it.
I can't wait to see your reaction on this.
Oh, God. What? There is absolutely nothing you can drink except for moonshine with this. This requires absolute, like a gallon of moonshine. The one with the 3 X's right across the front.
Maybe the one that you like use the syringe to shoot in your mouth.
Yeah. That's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. High five.
Yeah, high five. Boom. Yeah. I saw this, and of course they're just marshmallows that are dipped in a little bit of caramel. That's what it really is. It's a dessert. It's a little treat, but it is totally there to creep you the hell out.
And bro, I never told you I have a foot thing or an ear thing, so you just got right in there. So God bless.
You're welcome.
Oh, score. Ew.
You're welcome. So it almost makes me want to look for a nice red that is high alcohol, because I would need high alcohol to drink or to eat those, because it just psychologically messes with my head to see that.
That's why I need the moonshine.
But something that has like a nice toasted char on the barrels that you're almost getting like a vanilla flavoring with. So maybe like a very traditional oak aged Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's make it fancy, but I want the vanilla. Like, I want to find something with the vanilla, and that maybe vanilla rum or vanilla vodka.
I was gonna say, what about a little bourbon?
Ooh, a little bourbon. Yeah, you could probably just stick the whole Q-tip.
That's what I'm thinking, like a little mixing stir.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That is so... This
is the best thing ever. You are disgusting, and I love it.
Well, you successfully made it through the flash food and beverage pairing. I thought that was fun because we didn't talk about that. We didn't plan that really, except like today. I planned it today, but I was like, I've seen so many of these different photos going around that I've got to add a few more. We've had such great conversations, like.
For sure. I did not see that one.
But I did see like little fetus cookies, which I was like, I know, like people are playing on the fetus a little bit too strong.
There's a little too much little Paul Booth baby going on in there.
Yeah, and Roe versus Wade is, on the brink of gone. No. I don't want to play with this.
No, this is not the time.
So I'm going to put the bad juju out there. So thank you, Demetra. Thank you for coming out today and sharing your...
Thank you for having me.
Beverages.
Yes,
and you're
so fun.
Set. And you did an amazing job for your first time here on Wine Antics Live.
Thank you for believing in me.
I wish I had a tiara for you.
I do. No, with Halloween, this is absolutely my favorite jam. So you could not have picked a time for me to say, absolutely, yes, I will do this. Because usually I'm like, no, what? No, I don't do that. But this, I can cover myself in skeletons. So absolutely, why wouldn't I?
And spider webs and creepy ravens that you don't know.
All the stuff. All the stuff.
You don't know if it's supposed to be lighting up or not. I've watched too many scary movies recently. I'm sorry.
They're my favorite. That's kind of a year-round thing, so.
I'm going back through the comments before we wrap this up with some final thoughts. Anna says, think they're going for intestines, but I thought brains too with the chorizo. Yeah, you could do brains with that, like if you molded it properly.
Yeah, for sure.
So at the Halloween party I was at, they had like these serving bowls that were skeleton heads, but they were oversized and of course hollowed out to be a bowl. That would be perfect. Like just get that mixture going and just kind of form it and plop it in that bowl, and people can just kind of pick at it or take it into a corner and
just go right behind the couch kind of situation.
Just saying.
With the guacamole dip.
And I think that our flash food and beverage pairing has made many people hungry, as I'm seeing the comments. I applaud you guys out there. If you got hungry after seeing those, I'm really impressed by your internal fortitude and the ironness of your stomach.
You might want to consult your therapist at the next session as well, because
might be something wrong.
Questionable.
All right. So, Demetra, I always like to give people final thoughts. If you have anything that you didn't feel that you got to say, like you want to throw another 4 F-bombs out there, that's cool too.
2 shots, quick. Fuck. Okay. Get in there, kids.
Impromptu drinking game. Yeah, but like tell people where they can find you. I know I've dropped your website link below, but is that where you spend the most of your time or where you put out the most content?
I do a lot more microblogging than anything because I'm lazy. So you'll see me a lot on Instagram, you'll see me a lot on Facebook, and then when I'm traveling or when I'm doing things for conventions or for social media, you'll definitely see me more on the blog for sure. And that's Boozy Life.
www.boozylife.com.
That's me.
I love your banner logo. I used it. I sent out emails today to tell people about today.
That is hand painted by the one and only, my stage manager as well, the wonderful Demetra Molina, my husband.
Oh,
he did a watercolor for me with the brass knuckles, which he actually bought me.
Like
legit, I have a little brass Cussle wine key.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, that's always been kind of my little logo, and he painted that up for me. So pretty soon there will be bags and hopefully sweatshirts and all kinds of stuff with that new logo design. Yeah, we're getting there.
I love it. It's like biting a chunk off at a time. Like nobody's ahead in this game. Somebody's always doing something a little bit different or a little bit stronger, not even better, but stronger.
Moving cross country stops things for a hot second. So
a hot second. All right.
We're back on that horse.
Any regrets though, going cross country?
None.
That's awesome.
None. It's been great. It's been really, really incredible. I love it.
Nothing like, completely uprooting your life and changing things up to give you some different perspective.
It's changed things for sure. It's streamlined things, and what's really important stays important. That's the main thing.
Like puppy walks on the beach.
Absolutely.
Or sea otters.
That's a good wine. Oh my God. I didn't even know I liked sea otters until we moved here.
Videos of the sea otters that she spams on social media. If nothing else, you should follow her for the sea otter video.
We have a huge otter population in Morro Bay. It's one of the largest wild otter populations, and I call it my otter therapy. I will go down and sit there for 20 minutes and just watch them. And it changes everything. Highly recommend it if you can. Or you can always check out once in a while I stream it. So worth it for sure.
And what I like about your streams to them is that you don't talk you talk a little bit about in them, but you don't talk a lot. So you can actually just kind of sit by and enjoy in the moment of the otters.
It's about the otters. It's about them.
All right. Yay. So Demetra's gonna hang around for the after party. Yes, there will be a little bit of an after party. I don't promise how long I will be hanging out, because y'all that show up at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night and expect me to be there, you're crazy. Okay, you're crazy. You West Coast
Come on,
folk.
People. Get your shit together.
You West Coast folk. All right.
Come on.
I'm gonna drop the link, but otherwise the next time I will see you, is with Stub. Stub will be back next week.
Oh,
Yeah, and this is
cool.
the start because we will be doing Day of the Dead. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm doing 2 for 1. I'm just gonna keep this
Nice.
backdrop. I'm gonna get every drop that I can out of it. So I will see you guys in a couple minutes in the after party. Thanks for watching here. Look out for the link below. Bye. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
I hope you have a good one.